Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Brahma Bulletin. Thank you all so much for watching. I greatly appreciate you, one and all. Now, before we get into this week's stories, I have a couple announcements I'd like to make. First of all, this is the first video 2024, so Happy New Year, everybody. May 2024 be a prosperous and blessed year for each and every one of you. The second announcement I'd like to make is that I am proud to announce that I am a member of the Alternative Football Network, formerly known as the XFL Insider Podcast. This is a great team of contributors who are trying to spread the love and passion of spring football. And my role in this team is to spread the love and passion of the San Antonio Brahmas and the Gunslingers. So there's going to be some changes coming up here in the near future with this channel, but for the most part, nothing's really going to change. You'll still be able to watch all my videos on my normal YouTube channel, but I would suggest that you try out this website here, and it is the alternativefootballnetwork.com. As you can see here, it is a great website. It looks very smooth. It's very clean. It's got all the sites, all the contributors on here, including the flagship one, the XFL Insider Podcast, which will be named to the AFN Podcast. You have Texans Talking Football. You have the Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. You have Shady Sports Network, Analyze and Educate, and of course, the Pride and Joy, the Brahma Bulletin. So I suggest you check out this website. Again, it is alternativefootballnetwork.com. And while you're there, why don't you like and follow and subscribe to all the socials on Facebook, on Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff. It helps out all the contributors and helps out the network as a whole. And we really greatly appreciate it if you were to check that out. Um, I'm very proud to be joining this team. I'm very excited about this. So some of the things that may be coming this way is maybe exclusive access and exclusive content. I'll be joining the show on a pretty regular basis, I believe, and maybe just maybe might get access to some players and have some player interviews in the near future. So stay tuned to this channel, and again, please consider going to alternativefootballnetwork.com and checking out all of the shows, liking, following, and subscribing to each and every one of those contributors. We thank you all so much. And with that shameless plug out of the way, let's get into this week's stories. It is officially the birth of the UFL. Merged USFL, XFL to be rebranded as the United Football League. The merged XFL USFL Spring Football League will be known as the UFL, the United Football League, its partners confirmed. Former XFL President CEO Russ Brandon will hold the same title for the UFL, and former USFL President of Football Operations Daryl Johnston will lead the new league's football operations. The UFL did confirm that its March 30th opener will be played between the league's 2023 champions, the Arlington Renegades of the XFL and Birmingham Stallions of the USFL. Second headline, United Football League reveals 18 markets and head coaches for 2024. On New Year's Day, the league revealed the 8 teams that will compete in its inaugural season, as well as the coaches who will lead each franchise. The UFL season begins on March 30th with a matchup between the Birmingham Stallions and the Arlington Renegades, last year's champions of USFL and XFL respectively. Those teams will be joined by 6 others and sorted into 2 conferences, the USFL Conference and the XFL Conference. The teams are as follows. In the USFL Conference, Birmingham Stallions, Houston Roughnecks, Memphis Showboats, Michigan Panthers. XFL Conference, Arlington Renegades, DC Defenders, San Antonio Brahmas, and the St. Louis Battlehawks. The USFL's Houston Gamblers have been rebranded as the Houston Roughnecks. Players will report to training camp on Saturday, February 24th in Arlington, Texas. The coaches are Skip Holtz for the Stallions, Bob Stoops, Renegades, Curtis Johnson, Roughnecks, Reggie Barlow, Defenders, John DeFilippo, Showboats, Wayne Phillips, the Brahmas, Mike Nolan, Panthers, and Anthony Beck, Battlehawks. Let's take a close look at the new head rule who will steer us in the right direction. A look at the Bull. 7 quick facts about Wade Phillips, the former Cowboys head coach set to lead the San Antonio Brahmas. The San Antonio Brahmas have both a new league to compete in and a new head coach to lead them into the 2024 spring season. Here's what to know about Phillips, a well traveled coach with more than 5 decades worth of experience. Number one, he's a Texan. Born in Orange, Phillips graduated from Fort Neches Grove High School and went on to play linebacker at the University of Houston from 1966 to 1968. Number two, he's a football lifer. Wade's father, Bum, coached all over the state. He became the head coach of the Houston Oilers in 1975 and won 55 games over 6 seasons that included a pair of trips to the AFC Championship game. Wade served as the Oilers' defensive line coach from 1976 to 1980 and the Saints' defensive coordinator from 1981 to 1985. He took over as Houston's interim coach after Bum resigned, going 1-3 to end the year. Number three, it was a long road to becoming a head coach. Phillips got his first full-time head coaching job with the Denver Broncos in 1993, nearly a quarter century after his first coaching gig at Lucher Stark. He lasted just 2 seasons, going 16-16. Number four, a promising start in Dallas turned into a disaster. Dallas went 13-3 and won the NFC East in Phillips' first year. Now, a side note, in the 2009 division game, he was eviscerated by the Vikings 34-3 in that game. I just had to throw that as a Vikings fan. Number five, he's a Super Bowl champion. In 2015, Denver led the NFL in total defense and passing defense and ranked fourth in scoring defense. Phillips was named the Associated Press Assistant Coach of the Year for the first time. In Super Bowl 50, the Broncos recorded 7 sacks and forced 4 turnovers to beat Carolina 24-10 and claim the franchise's third championship and Phillips's first. Number 6, he had more than one shot at a ring. In 2018, Phillips was again back in the Super Bowl, this time trying to scheme a way to stop the New England Patriots and Tom Brady. Brady didn't throw for a touchdown and was picked off once, but the Rams offense couldn't find the end zone in a frustrating 13-3 loss. And number 7, a new adventure with the XFL. In 2022, he was announced as the new head coach for the Houston Roughnecks of the revived XFL. Houston finished 7-3 and won the XFL South before falling to the Arlington Renegades in the XFL South Division Championship game. Now, Phillips is set to lead the Brahmas into the first season of UFL play. And now, our Brahma in the spotlight, Ryan Becker, tight end, SMU. So Ryan Becker, a tight end from the Southern Methodist University. In prep, he was a consensus 3-star prospect, named first team All-District 25-5A, an honorable mention All-State, and he was named one of Texas's best in 2016. As a freshman in 2016, he played in all 12 games, making 1 start. He saw time on special teams and registered 1 catch for 17 yards in the season opener at North Texas. As a sophomore in 2017, he played in all 13 games, making 1 start. He had 2 catches for 30 yards and 1 touchdown, and he registered 1 punt return for 7 yards. As a junior in 2018, he played in 11 games, making 7 starts, registered 9 catches for 121 yards and 3 touchdowns. He added 1 tackle on special teams. And as a senior in 2019, he played in all 13 games, making 6 starts, caught 4 passes for 30 yards, and 1 touchdown. The first article, Football and Roping, how a XFL player's other passion helped him chase his NFL dreams. Ryan Becker went to training camp with the Arizona Cardinals in 2020 and the Atlanta Falcons in 2021. It was a dream since I was a kid, said Becker. Once you get in the first couple days of camp in the NFL, you're like, man, I know I can get back. Becker is back on the grind in the XFL with the Orlando Guardians. Camp is tough. Some of these guys haven't played for 2, 3 years, Becker said. It's getting back in the groove. It's just a little bit different. The Marble Falls, Texas native has bounced around NFL training camps since finishing his college career at SMU in 2019. Nobody was doing anything. I was just sitting at home training, waiting for a phone call, Becker said. I figured, why not start roping again? I would go pick him up after Pee Wee football, said Ryan's dad, Mark Becker. I had the trailer hooked up with the horses loaded and we were headed to the roping pen. I loved it. Almost didn't play football in my freshman year of high school because I was roping all the time, Ryan Becker said. And then I realized that I can't quit football. I love football too, so I just kind of made time for both. Whenever I wasn't playing, I was roping. That's just competing, Becker said. I love to compete. Every young man wants to play in the NFL, and every man wants to rope, Mark Becker said, and he's doing it. He's living the dream. It's just about finding the right situation whenever you land somewhere, Brian Becker said, and this is that opportunity. The second article, Know My Name. Orlando Guardians tight end Ryan Becker is known as a great teammate. He's a gentle giant, fellow tight end Cody Latimer said. He's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. The 6'5" pass catcher has had many great teammates of his own over the years, too, but there is that one currently stands out in terms of bond and longevity. His horse Moose. Moose is a Palomino, which is a golden blonde horse with a white mane. Becker has had Moose for about 10 years, riding him through most of high school, all of college, and now during his off seasons from football. Becker and Moose have even won their fair share of prize money at rodeos. He's my baby, Becker said. I've had offers from people to buy him, but man, there's no way I can get rid of him. That's my partner in crime. Every Tuesday and Thursday, the family would go to the stables. He really turned to the sport after he was cut from the Arizona Cardinals in 2020. Becker went back home to Texas and started competing in competitions on the side. Becker's event is team roping, which is when two ropers, a header and a heeler, attempt to take down a steer. The header ropes the front of the steer while the heeler ropes the legs. Moose obviously is not rooming with Becker in the XFL hub, but Becker did bring a play rope with him. He's used it to try and teach some of his teammates, like Latimer, the fine art of roping in the hotel. I still ain't good at it, Latimer said, but he's shown me a few things. Becker doesn't compete in rodeos when under contract as it would violate the no unnecessary risk clause, but he does return to it whenever he is not under contract. That will be the case going forward. Other than family and friends, football and rodeo have been the two constants in his life. He knows at some point his football career will end, but rodeo can be a lifetime pursuit. And hopefully, one day his kids could ride moose too. I think I'll always have horses and always rodeo and do that kind of stuff, Becker said. I think I want my kids to get into it, if they want to. If they get into it, I would be more than happy to run them around, go do things that my dad did for me, as far as just drive them all over. And that was our Brahma in the Spotlight, tight end Ryan Becker from SMU. And that's it for this episode. If you found it informative and entertaining, please let me know by hitting that like button. And if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to this channel. I greatly appreciate you one and all. And also, while you're at it, please go to alternativefootballnetwork.com and checking out all the other contributors on the site. And please, while you're there, consider subscribing and liking and following all of them as well. We all greatly appreciate it. I thank you for it. We are just trying to spread our love and passion of spring football to as many people as we can. And me specifically, spreading my passion and love for San Antonio Brahmas as well. So I thank you, and the whole team at AFN thanks you as well too. Well, I think it's time for this Brahma to be put out to pasture, at least until the next episode. Until then, San Antonio, horns forward.